Righto, new week, new project. I'm going to start on this now. I'm going to start trying to clean it up. I've got a little bit more degreaser. I've only got one can. This is going to take some doing. So I'm going to go around and scrape it first. I've got a couple of scrapers there and clean it as best I can. Then take it out and hit it with the degreaser and then the pressure washer. So just going to go side to side and use the scraper and just take most of this shit off. It's let me grab it. Now let's see. Yeah, it's not going to be easy, but we'll plod along and see what we can get done. I'll bring you back when I get it out the front. I'll see how I go when I finish scraping it. Well, I've given it a bit of a scrape as best I can, but it's going to take quite a bit of cleaning. I just sanded the top of the head, ground the dowels down because I tried to pull them out and don't want to fuck it up any further than what it's like. It's too hard to clean up. As it is, I'm going to have to go. This is only just lightly, same as the bores. I run the hone down them, but there's a huge lip in there. That's it. That's only a sort of 30 seconds of honing in each cylinder, so it's going to take a little bit more. That one, a little bit of rust in it. But there's a lip there that'll take a little bit of getting out. I might be able to just stop the hone just shy of the top and just polish down just up under that lip, because those hones will take forever to get that bloody lip out. And I've got one can of degreaser here somewhere. There it is. And it's full, so and that's the cheap shit. But to me, I find that cheap shit, it doesn't go very far. Like, it doesn't last long, but it works better. It gets more off than the more expensive stuff. So I'll give that a hit, give it a pressure wash, and then see what it's like, and then bring it back. Maybe it's probably going to take a couple of attempts, but if I had the money, I'd get it chemical clean, but I don't fancy paying what they want to charge just to chemical clean the fucking thing. So, and in the end, I mean, I could get it done, but in the end, it's just going to whack the price of it up too far. Like, if I've got to spend $100 to chemically clean it, then that's going to go on the cost of it. So I should be able to get it clean enough. Just take a few attempts. Like I said, I'll do one can of degreaser on it now, give it a good hit, and then pressure wash it, and then I'll bring it back in and have a look, and then scrape off any of the other bits that are left. It's a bit hard to see. I've got as much as I could with I actually used an old 6-inch ruler and a scraper, but it's pretty cruddy. So that cylinder war's fucking bad. You can't, it does it like, you'd feel it. It doesn't look so bad on camera, but when you stick your hand in there, there's a big lip there. This thing would have been blowing smoke everywhere. And running like a dog too, I was judging by the can that come out of it. So let's move on and see what we can do, eh? Okay, that's 3 cans of degreaser. It's better. It won't be quite as greasy. I'll be able to hit it with a wire brush. The valley come up pretty good. That's an important part because it'll be on the front. You'll see that. The back there is not so important because that'll be on the ground. That'll be the base. And the top, just the outside, that front where the timing cover went, I'm going to put a piece of plate over that. So it's come up reasonably well. And inside it's come up fairly clean. It won't matter either, but I've got to get it clean enough so I can paint it white. So I'm thinking when I get into this one now, I'll clean that shit fight off there and sit that on that bench. It's going to be easier to move around. It's not that heavy now, so I easily lifted it off the stand. Might even get that stand outside somewhere and get out of my way for a little while and get into that. Shouldn't take too long, I suppose. I've got some decent wire brushes here. These fuckers stick in the drill. And there's all different sizes there, so I can use those. And I've got fucking Bertha here, that'll take anything off, including your hands if you're not careful, so I can use that where needed, but that other brass brush I think will be fine. Clean that all up. I don't want to polish it, I just want it nice and clean so when I lacquer it, it'll look nice with no grease on it. So yeah, so that won't, like I said, this one won't take long to do. This will be a fucking fairly quick one. Just to be my lazy ass and how often I get out here and do something. So, you know, I've been at this all morning, well, for about 3 hours this morning. Nearly lunchtime, so I'll go inside and have lunch and probably leave it for the day now. Come back out tomorrow and have another go. Start brushing all that grot off it. Stay tuned. Peace. Well, I couldn't wait till tomorrow, so I thought, fuck it. Had some lunch, come out here. And I've cleaned that end up. That's come up pretty good. I don't have to worry about it in there too much because that'll be covered. I'm going to cut a piece of sheet to cover that. That'll be the top. And that's the bottom. That'll have the same. So I've sort of cleaned in here. I'm just still going to have to get in there with something just to scrape out those little bits because I can't get the wire brush right in that corner. And this here, I'll just give it a quick hit. It doesn't need much either because it's the base. It'll be on the bottom. So there'll be a sheet of metal over that as well. And with some feet on it for it to sit on the ground. So that's not coming up too bad. I'm just going to tip it on its side now and do one side at a time. And keep cleaning it up. It's coming up all right. This valley is fairly important. I'm going to see if I can get the brush in there and give it a good brush as well. Like I said, it's just I want to get the same finish that I'm getting on here. So once I lacquer it, I might even do this one with gloss. Hit it with gloss lacquer. I think I'm just going to sand these decks again before I start doing the sides. Get them done, get them finished. I'll hone the cylinders later. Yeah, so I might just get the sanding wheels onto those decks again. Try and clean them up a little bit more. Put the rough one on first, then hit it with the fine one. Yeah. So sometimes it's hard to get that all the way out, but I'll see what I can do. Same with the edges of that. Some stamping. I don't know what these are. There's 4 there. There's 5 there, and it's the same on the other side. Oh no. There's 3 there. And 6 there. So I don't know what they're supposed to be. There's an engine number here somewhere. There's a casting number. I'm guessing that was 1972. I'm guessing that's when it was done. When it was cast. It's got some numbers there. It's got 72 on the end. So there's the engine number. 4400. I'm guessing that's the size. 4.4 litre. I don't know what 1887 is. That may be the technology they used. But he's got 261072. So maybe the 26th of the 10th, 1972 might have been when it was cast. Don't know. Anyway, I'll keep going. Righto. I've spent about an hour on this side. Got most of it, but there's just... I've got it off, but there's just a couple of discoloration spots. Like that there. Might just have to give that. But I think if I go over it a couple of times, each time I'll get a little bit more out of it. I tried to get into it with the needle gun to get some of it out in there, but as you can see, it peens the fucker surface too much. So I'm going to have to try and get something in there just to smooth that back out again. Sanded this. Redid the decks. That's about as good as I'm going to get it, I think. Really, I might give it another hit before I'm done, but that's that side. And that's that side. So once me poor old drill cools off a little bit, it's fucking red hot at the moment. I'll do this side, and then we'll have another look at it. See how we go. Okay, done both sides. I've been back over this side again. It looks a little bit better. I don't know what can of worms I've opened here, because you can see where I've brushed now, so I'm going to have to try and get into all these fucking spots in the middle. But that's okay. We'll work something out. This side didn't come out too bad. Just a couple of bits in here that I can't get into. No matter what I do, I can't get in there. So I got the Dremel, but those little brushes that go on those Dremels last about 3 seconds. You try and do that sort of shit, they're useless. I said, well, should be able to dress him up a little bit. I've dressed up some of the casting spots, because some of it's fucking rough, you know. I don't suppose it needs to look pretty. You don't see it underneath the engine bay, but for the purpose of being a table, I'm going to get my die grinder, clean up that, clean up in there. There's a bit of a lip up there, and see if I can get in enough to just to clean up some of this casting mark here. It's a shame I can't put a little brush in that die grinder, but it goes way too fast. I put one in it before and it nearly disintegrated. Too fast. Who knows? I mean, some of those little tiny spots, I would just go through a few brushes on the Dremel and see if I can sort it. But that's coming good. That's not too bad. I might even, I've got actually, outside I've got some hydrochloric acid. Put it out the front, stick some fucking acid on it. That'll clean the bastard. I'll be able to give it my own acid bath. They should clean that rest of that shit up anyway, so. Yeah, so tomorrow, now I'm going to go inside. I'm going to get this video up instead of fucking around doing 3 or 4 days. I'm going to do this one since I started this today and edit it and upload it. And tomorrow I'll probably do a few more videos of me actually doing something, but today I just couldn't be fucked. So you'll see how we go tomorrow. Yeah. Peace.